Walk on YouTube, yo. I know it's been a while and I posted a video in a minute. You know what I mean? I just been focusing. I have my businesses that I run in. You know what I mean? The media and AV company. I've been trying to push the AV aspect of it really heavy. You know what I mean? Holy shit, I missed the entry. Ah, my goodness. All right, cool. Anyways, I literally just missed the entry. That's fine. So what I want to do in this video right now today is show you the new indicator that I created. If you been following, you know, Innovate indicator, right? Super dope indicator that we created a couple months back. And this right here just gets you into trades like super early. Like, look at this. But it had of course, with anything that you create, you're gonna have different versions, and especially if you're looking to improve, you're gonna be creating and finding the flaws and then tweaking and making things better, right? So I'm going to introduce to you today the new indicator that I created. Freaking crazy. But anyways, so with Innovate, you literally could have gotten into a trade like this and then gotten into this moving here, but the problems that this had was, like, okay, you got other bullish signals, so which one was the right one to use? And all of them are the right ones to use. It's just the context that you have to trade them in, right? So you combining it with higher time frame confluences and simple stuff like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, trust me, go watch the other videos that I created. I just want to make it very simple today and show you the new indicator, right? So if you look right here, PRIMORA is the new indicator. If I just remove this, right, and just show you even just on a 5-minute base on this channel, on this on this time frame right here, look at how many plots you have. And of course, we know gold has been bullish, right? So on the daily chart, this is what we're looking at. On the daily chart, you see from right here, this is where you could have been bullish from, and just we've been bullish from here ever since, right? But if I did this and just showed you even that, and I show you what the PRIMORA one looks like, this is where we would have actually been in from, or this one, right? But this is the only one that triggered before, so you might have would have taken a loss right here, but this is the one that you would have been in on from down here, riding this up, versus on Innovate right here, right? So let's look on it like this and let's digest this. We are already over our MA, so we are established bullish on the daily time frame. So right now I'm just using the daily 1 hour and 5-minute time frames. Don't matter, they're all the same. It's fractal, so what happens on one time frame happens on all time frames, literally. If your system does not do that, more than likely it's not a profitable system. So let's look on it like this. We are already established to be bullish on the daily, right? So if I even just do this and I say this is the daily chart down here, we are already established bullish, and I go to the 1 hour, what we're looking at is the fact that we want to see the exact same thing. So we want to be bullish from wherever we get our bullish plots from, right? It's the same thing. If I swap this over right now and then put on the Innovate indicator right here, so put on Innovate right here, and then I take off, like, so obviously, like, even with this now we can change the sessions. With Innovate, you have a whole lot of stuff that you can use. Like, most of the students inside of my Discord right now, they're still using Innovate, because I haven't given anybody PRIMORA as yet, because I've been testing it, I've been working on it. But now I reached a certain point, now it's just like, yo, super confident in the indicator, and I love the results thus far. So based on Innovate so far on the 1 hour, look at the crosshairs, you can see where it's in correlation to this. This is where we would be bullish from, right here. Let's see what would have happened on PRIMORA. It would have been the same. The difference is, so this is the reason why it's cool, because the difference is, sure, you would have been in right here on Innovate, and they would have taken you here, but you'd have been stopped out. Sure, you didn't get one entry right here on PRIMORA, but you would have gotten in right here on Innovate and probably gotten stopped out, either break even or a loss, depending on your management system. And then you have fake outs down here, like, you know what I mean? PRIMORA, you literally only would have gotten these as bullish signals to go and trade from. You understand? And that alone would have shown you, okay, this would have been the first loss right here, that one that you took. And then this one right here, not even the first loss, because we're scaling down on the 5 minute, right? So hopefully I'm not losing you here. But based on this is where you'd scale down on the 5 minute to start to look for trades. So more than likely, even on PRIMORA, on Innovate, you would have scaled down right here and you'd have gotten some nice 5 minute trades coming in up here. But you want the ones that will trend for a very long time, right? So that's the reason why PRIMORA is such a better indicator than Innovate. And Innovate is really good, like really a good indicator. Like look at where you can get in from, but you see when you start to check out the ones before, you might not get like the sweet spots like what PRIMORA might give you. You see, PRIMORA is just a whole lot cleaner of an indicator and easier to read and understand. Right now I'm in Euro USD based on the same thing I'm telling you right now. So maybe let's go to Euro USD so I can show you Euro USD. So I can show you exactly what I'm actually doing right now. All right, so this is on the 5 minute. This is what I'm in on right now. As you can see my phone over here. This is in the blue, you know what I mean? And I'm doing the exact same thing I'm telling you right now. So let me show you why I got into this trade and what I'm anticipating and what I'm hoping for. First of all, my liquidity target top over here on Euro USD. We are already established to be bullish. So I'm looking for bullish continuity. That's it. I'm just looking for price to continue being bullish. I'm over my MA, and how this is even nice too, PRIMORA, it changes the color of the MA whenever you are in a certain bias. So instead of me having multiple MAs, or instead of me having different or random confluences, I can have something very simple to follow, right? So, and then I get the plots. And if you check PRIMORA, like when you get a plot that's trending, you get the first initial one that will likely carry you to where you're going, right? So if we are already bearish, and then like this over here, this example, if we are already bearish over here, because you see the MA green, like whatever color you decide to put it, you see the MA green, you see prices breaking lows and all these extra confluences that you can have, and then you get a bearish plot and you got in here, that's likely where it's going to continue from, to continue going lower. And lo and behold, that's what it did. And guess what? Bullish, you're likely to go up from there. That's just what the indicator does based on the criteria that I set, right? But this is the reason why you want higher time frame confluences, so that you can understand what your direction is. So my higher time frame confluence is the daily. That's why when we're looking at the 1 hour now, you can understand why I got into this trade. This is going to be very simple for you to understand and see, right? So the 1 hour, cool. So Nas just gave me an alert too, so I can go check that if I want to, and we can go see that after in a bit, right? But check this, the daily is already bullish. We already established bullish. We're above the MA and we're going, right? And I have everything color coded for me, so it's easy to see. White candles going up, white above the MA. So I'm looking for buys. I don't have to question, any resistance here or anything. I don't care about that. I'm building my story on why I should buy, instead of why I should look for a reversal or some other bullshit, right? Forget about all of that. So daily is bullish. We see that that's pushing. Go to my 1 hour. My 1 hour actually just gave a trigger earlier. So boom, I'm down in here now in the 5 minute looking, but I wasn't on the charts, right? But I'm showing you what you should be doing. So let's shift this down here to the 1 hour, so we can look and see, right? Same thing. And then we're going to shift this to the 5 minute and look at the reason why I got into this trade, right? So look at the crosshairs. You can see where it correlates. So this is that pullback right here. And this, if you were paying attention to the charts at this time, this is where you would have gotten in and you would have taken a loss. So a beautiful loss, but you have the direction correct. So all you're doing is just waiting and chilling, right? All right, so check this now. Boom, price comes and passes that, breaks that high. So you know you already confirmed for bullishness, right? That's just what it is. Because once you're breaking highs repeatedly, it's just bullish. You don't have to question shit. It's just what it is, right? So stick to it, follow it. Structure is the best thing for you to follow when you're trading, right? So now I see that we broke this high right here. Something that I noticed in trading is very simple. If price, let me show you something. if we understand price to be doing this in a bullish sense, then, or in any bias, because that could be bullish or bearish, we want this type of build up before we take it through the highs, right? We want the build up to take place before we take this trade right here, before we take this trade right here, before we take this one right here to go through the highs, right? Because this is how you end up getting into a trend to stay into the trend. As you obviously see, that's even what's happening right here, right? It's very simple to see, very simple to understand. Starting from here, let's see, started from here, boom, bam, 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 and look at it continuing, right? In the same format. It's just taking shape differently because that's how price action works. It's the same concept as this easy one here that I drew, but this is how it actually took shape, right? So you want to trade through the highs, just like what you saw me do here. You want to trade through the highs, and you want to trade through the highs for continuations. That's all you're doing, literally. So with that being said, understand this. Let me leave this model right here so you can understand why I took this one right here, because this is the same one that's trading through. What I'm saying is I like to see price build up a bit before just taking one of the plots. So like this one right here, this one plotted right here, you can see the triangle. Of course, this is one that you could take, but then that one's so close to it, it's like, no, I don't necessarily want to take that one. I'd rather wait until I see a build up of like consolidation before taking that price out, because once you have a lot of consolidation and once you have a bigger range like this per se, that's a bigger range of price juggling in between here before passing that high. That is definitely a higher probable trade for you to take to go long. Let me show you the perfect example, which is right in here. Look at when we got the triangle plot. We got that once this candle opened, and that would have been one to trade through. But look at this small gap right here. Like there's not a lot of price action right here for you to take that, which is more than likely the reason why this came back down. If I even moved PRIMORA, right, and I just looked on it like this would have been the initial one to go through. You understand? Because now you have a push, a high, breaking out structures and stuff like that, starting to go bullish, and now you have a pullback. Right, that pullback now initiated a lot of consolidation in here to then pass through. So this would have been the one to get in on. You see, that would have been the likely one to get in on. So that's the reason why I took this one like this. You understand? That's the reason why I took this one like this, and we're active in the trade now, obviously, as you can see. That's the reason why I took this trade like this. So I wouldn't have taken that one there because I wasn't on the charts, obviously. So that's the reason why this one here wouldn't have been a good one to take. Let me put Annovate on. You can see what Annovate would have looked like. So you'd have taken this one right here, and you could have taken the same one right there. That wouldn't have worked. This one would be a nice one on Annovate to take because this one has a good little build up. So this one here can actually push for a little bit. You never know, because you know everything is probability. That's a stock. Everything is probability, so you just really don't know, but you're taking the high probability setups. That's it. Cool. So if I slap back on PRIMORA, you can see where we got initiated for this, for the trend, right? You can look on it like this. Once you get a bullish plot or a bearish plot, it's now initiated to stay in that direction. So you can now trade through any one of the highs that form. But you want to trade through the ones that are like just starting out. The trend is just starting. So like the 1 hour trend right here that's just starting, that's the reason why I got into this trade, as you can see now. So let me remove the model. Now you see the reason why I got into this, because remember, I'm correlating everything to the higher time frames. If you look on the daily, yes, did not just start, but that's fine because a daily candle can provide you crazy moves on a 5-minute chart, which is what I'm entering on, right? So if I can be smart and find out where I want to get in based on the higher time frame charts, you can make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Very simple. Especially if you end up waiting on the daily chart to confirm, like just passing the MAs and just confirming with the bullish thing. Look at all the highs right here. Look at all the highs right here. Look at the high right here, you know? So you can literally get into all of these right in here and start to make the moves. Now, what other things that you can use to confirm? Look at this. We're breaking highs, breaking highs, breaking highs. So I'm expecting this to go and hit this liquidity target top, because this also is a high that wants to be run on and continue. Let me show you. If I just go on a monthly, what are we looking at? We just start in the trend. We just start in the trend on Euro USD to go higher, right? Sure, we see that we've been bearish for a while and we've been breaking lows on the monthly, but guess what? For the past couple months, we literally just been pushing bullish, right? We just been pushing bullish and we closed above our MAs. So now we're anticipating, sure, this one here just triggered. Actually, if I move this, guess what? On the monthly, we just got our bullish triangle. So what we would want on the monthly, just saying, on the monthly, we would want something to like bounce around here for a bit. So we want it to consolidate a little bit and then push through here. And once it pushed through there, that's when we're getting in on this. But right now, even if we decided to trade like long term, like the banks and stuff, look at this one. Came up, just stopped right here, triggered, and then now consolidated a bit, then traded through. This was the perfect one to get into, to look for trades on a daily chart, on an hourly chart, you know, same thing. And this is when it just started consolidating on a higher time frame, like maybe even on a yearly, you know. But yeah, this is just as simple as it gets. If I go back down to the 1 hour, you see that we're still pushing. See the 5 minute there is still pushing. The concept is all the same, and how we're approaching it is pretty much the same, but we're just trying now to increase the win rates. And with the increase of the win rates, with how our system is set up, now we're back to looking at 1 to 15s, 1 to 20s, 1 to 30s. Like, it's limitless. You know what I mean? Let's go on the daily chart and find out where like targets can be, right? If you base it on just as simple as this, like a liquidity target top here, all right? Right now we just in profits still, like I'm showing you. Well, you can see my phone. Liquidity target top. That's a target top that we're looking to get run on. That's a 1 to 6, right? But of course, the management is not going to allow me to get a full 1 to 6 because price can return, price can do whatever in the meantime. I want to still secure profits. So how I'm securing profits, I'm giving you guys the gems. How I'm securing profits is like this. When this hourly candle closes in 5 minutes, I'm waiting on that next hourly candle to close, and then I'll just start to move my stop loss below each hourly candle, right? So let's say the next hourly candle opens, comes down right here, and then comes up and then closes right there. I'm literally going to move my stop loss right here. Or sorry, I'm gonna go break even. I'm gonna go break even and then put like a imaginary stop loss right there. Why? Because once it passes that low, that's when I want to take a partial. But should it do something like this now instead and open again, come down a bit, and then push up higher and then close up here, now my imaginary stop loss comes up here. And now if I get another push, because as you can see, like candles can keep pushing upward, right? It's a trend. It can happen, definitely. And that's the reason why our system is set up the way it is, because then we get to be in trends like this. Let's say it does something like this now, and then let's say just opens, goes up and comes back down, and then does something like this, and then goes below this candle. Then now what I'm looking for in this regard now is literally to take my first partial under here. This is what I'm looking for, and I would take my first partial right as it crosses there. That's when I take my first partial, and then from there I move up to the daily time frame. And repeat the process. So where I would have taken my first partial right there, maybe this daily closes up here, who knows, I have no idea. And then from there, literally the daily closes, the next daily candle opens and plays around and does something like this to go and take that high. And I put my imaginary stop loss again right here. This is where I would close the trade now this time. And like let's say the daily does something like this again now, and it opens and it does something like this again, right? A next candle, right? So now my imaginary stop loss now, my actual stop loss would be under here now. So my first stop loss moved under here. Price actually puts another good candle and it closes. My stop loss is under here. And let's say I get one more good bullish push. My stop loss goes under here. And then now guess what? Final one. We get one final daily push to say come up here. My stop loss goes under here. Then all of a sudden we get a bearish candle that comes down. And guess what? Stops me out right under here. Same concept, and that's what I would do. So everything is fractal. So what you just saw me map out on the 1 hour is what we just see now here on the daily. So what I want to see on the 1 hour is what I'm doing on the daily. So the daily is right there. Go down to the 1 hour. Here's the same concept on the 1 hour, and this is where I would anticipate that daily to do that, as you saw on the daily, and that looked like a real thing that can happen, right? Of course, because look at this. This is just a simple uptrend. And that's not a crazy thing to believe, because guess what? This is exactly what it did here. This is exactly what it did here. These are all the same things. Look at this distance right here from where this triggered in. Look at this distance right here, right? Let's go and look at what that distance is up here in comparison, right? Look at this from where we're in on the trade right now. That's not that far-fetched, as you can see. So when you look on something like that, no, you don't be paranoid. You're not paranoid to stay into a trend. You're not paranoid. You're not hopping out. You're not scaring yourself out of anything. You're testing something. You're proving something to yourself, and then you're seeing that it's a real thing and it can happen. So see, again, if I zoom in now, you see these big ones here. This is what I was anticipating as the daily chart. Guess what? It's the same thing for the hourly. So I want the hourly to push, and then start that trend on the SMMA, and then push, right? And curve up, something like this, maybe, to start that uptrend. You know what I mean? Because this is exactly what we see it do on a repeated basis when it's starting an uptrend, like this, boom, push, and then we see the curve going up. Boom, push, we see the curve going up, right? So boom, push, we want that curve to go up. It's very simple. That's what we're looking for. And we're actively in this trade right now as we speak. Simple. So that's what we're looking for. And again, so it's not far-fetched. As soon as that comes down here, and if it does something like this, I don't really care if it even do it right here. I'll take that partial. That's money secured. All right. And once that money is now secured, then I can leave it to run for the rest. I can leave the rest to run. Right. And I leave the rest to run on the daily chart. So where I might secure, based on even just this one right here, where I might secure even just like a 1 to 3 right here. This one based on the daily. Say I secure 1 to 3 right there, and I take off half. That'd be 1.5 something, 1.5 something. So I took off half, right? If it comes up here to do this, right? If it comes up there to do that, I already took off half, which means 11 more is left. And then no, that's when I would close it. That would be 11 plus 1.5, so 12.5. Call it 12.5. 12.5 RR. Sure, this could obviously string out to be a whole 1 to 22, but that's not realistic, right? You're not going to be sitting in trades for that long. Maybe you can play around and do something like that, but you would never leave that much money on the table, because what happens if it actually comes to 1 to 13 and then reverses and comes back down to stop you out? You don't want to leave all that money on the table, because you really don't know what's going to happen next. You don't. Nobody knows what's going to happen next in trading, so don't make anybody lie to you. Right? Very simple. So that's what we're looking at right now. I'm hoping to obviously have this high taken out, which would be at a 1 to 6. But the likelihood of that happening before the 1 hour creates a low below something is not likely, right? The likelihood is that the 1 hour is going to create some candles, move some stuff, and then once it goes down here, I'll have to take a partial somewhere, right? So after this new candle now, again, I just showed you the whole thing, and I'm about to show you it again. Based on what we see happening right now, this is that. and we're on the 5 minute right here. So I could have done this on the 5 minute as well. Excuse me. And let me show you where that would have been. So bullish candle, my imaginary stop loss is under here because that's where I'll take my partial, and see it passed it, so I would have taken a partial right there. But it doesn't make sense for me to do that because that's very close to where I got in, right? It doesn't make sense. So I'm waiting now. Like right now, based on where it is right now, it's almost at a 1-to-1 now. Almost. No, not even there yet. And I'm only risking like $500 per trade right now, right? So if you check it out, like it's almost at 500. If I go take a partial right now, it's almost like nothing, right? So I'd leave it alone. That's the reason why I manage based on the hourly, because the hourly now can push and make like a better, I'd say a better place for me to start to look for a partial versus on a 5 minute, because on a 5 minute it's just too close, right? And it versus like, okay, so you see the one that we're pushing down right now. If this reverses and come up here, right where this is where I'd be able to now put my imaginary stop loss, which would secure roughly, still obviously way lower than a 1-to-1. So I still might even just wait for a little bit, who knows, but I'll follow the rules, you know what I mean, and see what it produces. See, on the 5 minute we have that curve going up right now. There's no reason to sell. There's no reason to, I don't care about what's happening over here. I don't give a F about what's happening over here, because that's past price action. That's past price action. Look at what's going on right now. What's happening now? That's the biggest trick that I see people like get caught up in all the time. You can even go break even 1-to-1 if you wanted to, and say, all right, cool, you know what, I secure in something to say no matter what, at a 1-to-1 I go break even and all that extra shit. You can do all that. You can make up rules for yourself. But the biggest takeaway I can say, yo, start to look at what's happening currently in price versus looking back here and looking to the left and confusing yourself with a whole bag of shit. Don't do that. Just look at what price is doing right now on an hourly basis. What are we seeing? Like, I look on the legs. I call them legs, right? So what's the leg right here? The leg right here was that price was breaking bullish, going up higher. What was this leg right here? Price is breaking bearish, going down. So I'm looking at the most current thing, because the most current thing is the most current thing. It's obvious. You can see whether or not price is buying or selling. Why would you look on the back here and see what was happening back here? If you look back here, you're just looking at past. Like, that's the trick. Even in life, don't look at the past. Like, look at how you can move forward and look at what's happening now. That's how you do it, right? So right now, price pushing, and the last bullish candle we got on a 1 hour was bullish. Yeah. So what am I doing? Anticipating buys. I'm looking for buy opportunities on the 5 minute. Simple as that. And how am I looking to get in? I showed you earlier. Buying through the highs, see the highs and buying through the highs and stuff. Simple. It's at school, bro. All right. So yeah, just simply do that, and then that would be the best way I can, you know what I mean, point to how I trade in right now and why I using with PRIMORA, because PRIMORA is a really nice indicator. So Innovate is really awesome. You can still get away with a lot of stuff. You can still do stuff with that. It's just a lot more to manage in terms of like context and understanding how you're doing or how you're looking at context, right? It's just way easier to look at and understand what you're doing when you're using PRIMORA. And I will be releasing this to my students very soon. So yeah, if you want, you can obviously get the free trial. I don't even know if I still have the free trial going on, but if you want, you join the Discord. And if you join the Discord, obviously you'll have access to PRIMORA and Innovate, so you can see it both. I have videos, like if you check my YouTube page right now, this is the first video on PRIMORA, and if you're watching this now, obviously you're gonna be like, oh, let me go see some more about this. There is no information on this. This is the only bit of information for you to have right now. Everything else is based on my data collection that I have, that I will be releasing to my students so they can see it and then they can prove it for themselves. So like building systems and understanding how you can build systems, like going for set ratios like a 1-to-3 or a 1-to-5 or a 1-to-10, what you can expect, how to do it, and all these different kind of things. We talk about the different things like assets to trade. Like if you're looking to get into, what am I doing here? if you're looking to get into currencies or indices or crypto, whatever it is, this thing here works on all pairs. It doesn't matter, on all time frames, right? Stocks, it's all the same. Like if I jump to Nvidia really quick, and let's just look at Nvidia and just point out what's going on. Like if we go to the 12 month, which is the yearly, I don't know if I have enough data, but obviously we don't have the data there, so let's go on a monthly. Right, the last plot that we got to get into Nvidia on the monthly was down here. Look at how nasty this is. Look at this. So from in here we've been confirmed bullish. So again, once you see the plot, you're confirmed to look for stuff in that range. So we've been bullish on this from 2013, right? Now obviously I'm just showing you what the indicator would have showed you had you had this from a long time. So it's good that we have it now. Look at this, and all of these highs that you could have traded through. Look at this, pushed crazy. Have we had anything close under there since? This is absolute craziness. Look at this, highs being broken. Like, yeah, we haven't had another scale, or we haven't had another plot since. So now you obviously take that down to the daily. Guess what? You're still just looking for buys. Look at all these, look at the plots. So that confirmed bullish because we were over here. Now you could have traded through the highs and traded through the highs, and look at this, just money sitting on the table. Excuse me. And obviously once you see price pulling back, you're just waiting to trade through the highs up here. Hold on, baby, hold on. Fix them back up, okay? Like, look at this. You could have traded through the highs. So what are you doing? And once you saw that close below there, you're just waiting on a new plot to happen right here. So high, you know, like very simple stuff. And if you even go down to the 5 minute, because this market is open right now, since this morning, obviously you know, so the market's still buying, because on the 1 hour, let's see, on the 1 hour we've been buying from down here. On the 5 minute, you're still just looking for buys. So you're waiting on your plot to show up. Look at this, buys. That's easy money right there, easy money right here. Buy into the highs. See, this one here liquidated these lows, so you would have gotten in on this high right here. The market opened at 8:30, so boom, you'd have been in this right now, you know. So it's not hard. Anyways, big up on yourself. I know I ain't been posting in a while, but I can get back consistent eventually, you know. I just dropping that here right now, so you can actually see exactly what we've been working on and how we still improving the system, because nothing not gonna stop. This is financial freedom, my boy, my girl. You understand? This is how you can get to financial freedom. So you take your physical job, or you take your business or whatever, you accumulate funds, and you put those funds. Hold on, Bubba. Okay, cool. And then you look on the funds that you accumulate, and you put those inside of your trading account, and from there now you literally start to make funds. You start to worry about you start to tailor your trade management. You start to tailor your approach, your mindset, psychology, all these different things, and you're good to go. The final thing I can say about this, everything is alert based, right? So how I have it here, I have the group of stuff that I have, which is my assets in here, all of the stuff in here that I trade, all of them are in here. So I have best for HFM, which is my broker. And then the condition is based on, you can have the condition where it's based on price, but I put it on PRIMORA, which is the indicator. I have it now where it's very simple, so you can have it boom, and it does it based on the alert function, which I have there. So you choose your interval. So my interval right here is the 1 hour, and I'm gonna save that because I already have it saved. So whenever there's a trigger on the 1 hour, it shows me, and then from there now I go down to the 5 minute and start to look for trades to go up. Very simple. And then I have the second one there that triggers for the 5 minute. So not only do I not have to wait, not only do I not have to scare myself into trades or with FOMO and all these other stuff, I see the 1 hour plot, boom, okay. If I see the 1 hour plot, I can just drag them into this to say, okay, ready. Like right now I can say Euro USD been ready, right? So then now I look for that, and then once I see the 5 minute plot on this, I'm good to go. Yeah, very simple stuff. yeah, and it just high probability trades, and it's just very simple from there. So anyways, appreciate you watching this. Hopefully you got some value from this. And again, if you want to join the Discord, the link will be in the description. And yeah, take yourself seriously, take your finances seriously, take your freedom seriously. Big up yourself, man. Peace.